I am very simple-minded. I have very simple tastes. Hello friends, foes, and those still under review. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you some kind of quick start information for those of you who are a little bit newer to my channel. That's going to be the star scale that I use to rate the books that I talk about, the spice scale that I use to kind of indicate how much spice there's in a book that I'm talking about. Last but not least is going to be all of the other places that you can find me on the internet. TikTok, Instagram, my Bennable list where I usually link all the books that I talk about and stuff like that. So we're going to start with the two scales. To be honest, they're based mostly on vibe. I don't like to overcomplicate things at all, and that's simply because I would like to continue enjoying reading, and if I make things too complicated, I'm not going to enjoy that. As long as it flows nicely and the story makes sense, that's honestly good enough for me most of the time. So yeah, it's largely based on the vibe, like did I enjoy the story or not. Yeah, and then the spice scale is largely how much spice there is and the language that's used. I won't say it's industry standard per se because I don't think it's actually been codified anywhere, but a scale very similar to this seems to show up in a lot of places on the internet, so this is the one we're gonna go with. So, star scale first. I rate on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. I don't think I've ever given anything no stars. I've never read anything that I hate. Well, that's not entirely true. I've read very few things that I thought were worthy of 0 stars. You know, so we're talking like Mein Kampf level stuff. So, 1 star. My 1 star ratings, those are the ones that are typically very poorly written. It looks like it was not edited at all, and if it was, it could have used several more rounds. Story didn't make sense. It looked like somebody just word vomited a dream that they had onto the page, that kind of thing. This is not a rating that I give very often. I feel like most of the books that I come across, they were actually trying, and you know, that's good enough for me. It's probably a single digit number, the number of books that I have given 1 star. 2 stars, okay? 2 stars is stuff that is objectively well written. You know, your English teacher would probably give you a passing grade for the quality of the writing alone, but I still did not enjoy it at all. Like, if it was moderately well written, but I probably still would not recommend it to anyone, that's what a 2 would be. 3 stars are where I would put books that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but I thought were still well written, and I probably would recommend to somebody that I knew liked similar books. You know, most of the books that I quote unquote don't like fall into this category. 3 stars, book's not for me, but it's for someone. You know, it's middle of the road, that's what a 3 is. So 4 stars are books that I read and I really enjoyed them. I definitely am recommending them to other people, but there were 1 or 2 things that I didn't really enjoy. So like there were aspects of the plot that I didn't like, or the dog died, or, you know, stuff like that. 5 stars is the best rating I could possibly give. I enjoyed it. I have no notes. I am making this book a part of my personality for the foreseeable future. Honestly, most of the books that I read are between a 4 and a 5. I give quite a few like quarter and half stars. And honestly, I'm not a very harsh person when I am reviewing books. Like, I'm fairly easy to please. It's gonna be rare that you see less than a 3 on my channel. Most of the time it's gonna be like between a 3.5 or a 5. I am very simple-minded. I have very simple tastes. Moving on to the spice scale. This one does have a 0. So there's 6 scores I could possibly give, from 0 chili peppers, meaning there's absolutely no spice at all, to 5 chili peppers, meaning there is spice all over the place. There is no plot. It's straight up erotica. So to break that down a little bit more. So 0 is Christian romance territory. There is no spicy thoughts at all. There might be a little bit of pining, but there is absolutely no impure thoughts because Jesus is always watching. That is what a 0 is. That is where we're starting. 1 is a little bit spicier than that, but like in a, you know, junior high sort of way. You know, there's some romantic tension, there may be a little hand holding or like kissing in terms of like a peck on the cheek or like a very chaste kiss on the lips, but other than that, that's it. There's absolutely no spicy scenes whatsoever. 2 has lots of romantic tension. There's, you know, a lot more hand holding, kissing, whatever. There might even be some spice mentioned, but it's all closed door. You don't see the actual sex on page ever. So a 3 is where we get to the actual spicy stuff. 1 to 3 spicy scenes is probably where I'd put a 3, but the language is kind of the deciding factor, probably a little bit more mild. You know, you're going to use actual anatomical terms for things, and there's typically much more plot than spice. So 4. Usually if I'm rating things a 4, it has more to do with language than the actual like amount of smut. So if there's like 3 to 4 spicy scenes, that would be a 4, but mostly the language is the deciding factor. So if it's like super dirty talk, that would be a 4. And then 5 is full on erotica. You know, if there's barely a plot and it's the rest of it is all spice, then it's a 5. So now that we've run through both of those scales, we can talk a little bit about where else you can find me. I'm on TikTok and Instagram at this handle right here. pretty much the same on Goodreads and the Story Graph. It's just that it's missing the @ sign. I'll make sure that everything is linked in the description down below if you'd like to go check those out. Lastly, if there's ever a book that I talk about that you'd like to read a little bit more, I will do my best to link it in my Bendable and on my Amazon storefront. Always recommend going to your local library first. You know, if you feel like you need to get your hands on it now, those are always good places to look. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'll make sure that this gets linked to all of my book review posts or reading wrap-ups, that kind of thing. So if you need a refresher on how I rate things, you can always click back to this video. If there's anything else you would like to know about me or my channel or the stuff that I read, feel free to leave me a comment down below. So yeah, stay safe and enjoy your book. Bye!